Here we go. Oh, there you go.
Hughes. Mr. Tack, good morning. Good to see you.
Thank you very much.
You say, I'm fine, thank you. You say this is a different perspective on Howard Hughes because the other books have been written based on stories told by people who knew him. You think this is his point of view. How could that be?
Well, I made the effort to try to get inside his mind. This is you know, he was America's first billionaire, and he was a famous film producer after all. He did, you'll recall, The Outlaw with Jane Russell, The Press.
Crashed? Jim, just a few moments ago, something believed to be a plane crashed into the South Tower of the World Trade Center. I just saw flames inside. You can see the smoke coming out of the tower. We have no idea what it was. It was a tremendous boom just a few moments ago. You can hear around me emergency vehicles heading towards the scene. Now, this could have been an aircraft, or it could have been something internal. It appears to be something coming from the outside due to the nature of the opening on about the 100th floor of the South Tower of the World Trade Center. Police vehicles and fire vehicles are zipping by me here. We just have no idea. So to the south of the tower, we see some particles, also some gray smoke. Now the smoke coming out of the opening appears to be black smoke. This would indicate things are burning inside. We have no idea of what happened, but we did hear what sounded like an aircraft, and then a tremendous boom. Now, I don't know whether we can confirm that that was an aircraft or not. David, what did you hear? What would you say you heard? This is our cameraman, Dave Stolick.
Incredible explosion. Very, very loud.
How about you, hon?
It sounded like a bomb.
Well, it could be. It could be something internal as well. There are pieces of the superstructure of the World Trade Center sticking out, but a lot going in. As I say, this appears to be about the 100th floor of the South Tower of the World Trade Center. I hope we can get some further information from the newsroom up there, Jim.
Ollie, I'm just told also that our transmitter, which is on top of the World Trade Center, also took a hit, so we were briefly affected up here. One's memory has to go back to the another terrorist attack. One would hope it is not this time, but if it were a plane that crashed into the side of the building, you would imagine that there would be something on the ground that would be visible. So
that's true, Jim. I cannot see the ground from here. You recall back in, I believe it was 1945, when a U.S. Air Force plane crashed into about the 70th or 80th floor of the Empire State Building during a foggy night. This is the skies here, as you can see, are perfectly clear. So I'm starting to lean to the idea that perhaps this, whatever happened here, came from the inside of the World Trade Center.
Yeah, that, of course, that incident back there in the 40s in the offices of Catholic Charities up in the 80th floor of the Empire State Building. This, of course, the new tallest building in town. Now, obviously, on the North Tower of the World Trade Center, something has either crashed into the World Trade Center. If it were... I'm just told that Metro Traffic is reporting that it was indeed a plane crash. If that's the case, where's the plane? I would ask. I don't see it in that live picture there. And one's thoughts obviously go back to a terrorist attack on the World Trade Center that created havoc there back in the early 90s. Ollie, any new developments that you can see from your vantage point?
You can see flames now. There is a fire going on at that site. We don't know. Are you saying that Shadow Traffic is saying something about a plane?
Shadow Traffic is telling us that it was indeed a plane crash. Metro Traffic, I'm sorry. Metro Traffic is telling us that it was indeed a plane crash. Now, I understand that you are over by City Hall, having been reporting on the political developments. Now, you are a good, 8, 9, 10 blocks away from the scene right now?
At least, Jim. We're at Park Row, and, of course, the World Trade Center is at least 6 or 7 blocks away from us. I do see more flame now.
It's
8:52 here in New York. I'm Bryant Gumbel. We understand that there has been a plane crash on the southern tip of Manhattan. You're looking at the World Trade Center. We understand that a plane has crashed into the World Trade Center. We don't know anything more than that. We don't know if it was a commercial aircraft. We don't know if it was a private aircraft. We have no idea how many were on board or what the extent of the injuries are right now. We have, I understand, an eyewitness on the phone right now. Sir, what's your name?
Yeah, my name is Stuart.
Stuart, where are you right now?
I'm working at a restaurant in Soho.
All right, so tell us what you saw, if you would.
I was waiting at a table and I literally saw it seemed to be like a small plane. I just heard a couple noises. It looked like it bounced off the building, and then I just saw a huge ball of fire on top. And then the smoke seemed to simmer down, and it just, a lot of smoke was coming out, and that's pretty much the extent of what I saw.
As Matt just mentioned, we have a breaking news story to tell you about. Apparently, a plane has just crashed into the World Trade Center here in New York City. It happened just a few moments ago, apparently. We have very little information.
Do you have any people to talk to?
Sure, we've got some people here walking away. Excuse me, sir, did you see what happened?
All right, go ahead.
Yeah, I saw something. It's something like bomb and...
Did you see anything hit the building, or did it come from the building?
That's the bomb, I think so. That's the
Something
bomb.
hit the building?
Yeah.
All right, thank you. All right, we got some other people. They're all rushing away from the site.
Don't blame him, especially that fellow with a little girl in his arms.
Did you see what happened, sir? Did you see what happened? What happened?
Well, I was in the past train, and there was a huge explosion sound. Everyone came out. A large section of the building is blown out, around the 80th floor.
Was it hit by something, or was it something inside?
It was inside. Because it looked out. Everything was coming out. All the windows were coming out. All the papers were coming out.
What is on the sidewalk?
I didn't see anything.
Were there any people hurt, do you know?
I just ran, and everyone in the past train just ran. I don't know if anyone was hurt, but I assume they were because the windows were all blown out.
All right, thank you.
Ollie, you would have to assume a very, very terrible situation if that indeed is the case, because I'm sure there were people up there in that. There were people up there in that World Trade Center. Now, we have lost, again, our transmitter is on top of the World Trade Center, so we apparently have consequently lost contact with Dick Oliver. But we are on the phone with an eyewitness. Rosa, can you hear me? Is Rosa there?
Hello?
Rosa?
Yes.
This is Jim Ryan here in the studio.
Hi.
What is your last name, please?
Cardona Rivera.
Oh, Cardona. Rosa Cardona Rivera. Tell us what you saw and heard, if you would, please.
Okay. I'm at 99 Hudson Street. I was standing outside, actually, at the side of the building smoking a cigarette. And I hear a plane, and I don't usually see planes in this area. Then all of a sudden I saw it go right into the World Trade Center, to the building.
So
right
you saw a plane crash into the side of the World Trade Center.
Yes, sir.
And
I'm on the 14th floor, so I was just looking out, because there's a fire, something like fire staircase or something, just like a little balcony. And I saw it go right into the building, and I was like, oh my God, and it was a big plane. It wasn't, a little plane. It was fairly big.
How big, can you tell us? Give us an idea.
I don't know. I would say it was like a plane that I board on to go
So this wasn't just a small Piper Cub or something that had gone the wrong way. And of course, we would the weather, I take it, where you are is just about picture perfect.
Picture perfect, yes. It's very clear outside.
So there would be the suspicion then that anybody who would drive a plane smack into the middle of the World Trade Center would have done it on purpose.
It would seem that either that or they lost control, but I can't see something like that. I mean, it was right into the building, so and it was coming low. Because if I were to see a plane that was going high, and then all right, but this was coming low, very visible.
We have people joining us every moment. Take me through again where you were, when this happened, what you saw.
I was serving tables at a restaurant, and I just heard sort of like a boom sound. It almost sounded almost like an earthquake sound, and I looked up and I saw literally something it might have even bounced off a little bit of a building, and next thing I know, I saw a big ball of fire on the top of the building and just lots of smoke and what looked like to be debris or glass falling down. And it happened really quick. It's really hard to...
What was unbelievable was the amount of fire. It was a big ball of fire that just went up. And I looked around at people. We were all horrified. I'm stuttering because I'm in such shock. I've never seen anything like it. It's just horrible.
And of course, this is real cause for concern because the World Trade Center is one of the busiest office buildings here in New York with hundreds, perhaps thousands of workers
New York State Governor has his office, New York City office there.
Several thousand and of course, given the time that this has happened, it's only probably appropriate to surmise that people might have been in the building.
And you know, we've seen stories in the past where planes have hit buildings, small planes, and it would be hard to imagine that a small plane could create that kind of hole in a building like the World Trade Center and create the damage on the other side of the building from the sheer impact. Small planes tend to crumple and then fall down the building. Again, we haven't talked to anyone who's close to the base of the building, so we don't know what kind of debris or wreckage. Yes, go ahead, Jennifer.
I'm sorry, I'm just talking to a police officer right here, and he says yes, he heard it was a plane.
Does he have any information about what kind of plane it was, or can he tell us any more details?
Yes. May I? I'm going to put you on hold for one moment, okay?
Just to recap, if you're just joining us, you're looking at dramatic pictures of New York's World Trade Center in Lower Manhattan, where a short time ago we are told that a plane crashed into the upper floors of the westernmost tower. You can see a gaping hole. That is on the north side of the building, and you can see residual damage on the west side of that building, and obviously fires are burning right now in the World Trade Center.
Smash. It looks like it went head-on, smack into the World Trade Center building. One could only expect, given the weather conditions, given looking at that picture live right there, that it went smack inside the World Trade Center. And if that is the case, I'm afraid we've got a tragedy on our hands.
We've got something coming across the wire here, James, but actually it's nothing more than what you've already been reporting. Witnesses report hearing a huge explosion.
Yeah, well, we're looking at, there's no doubt there was a huge explosion and fire, lots of black smoke coming from that building. Black smoke, again, would indicate that the fire is nowhere near under control. I expect they have sprinkler systems in there.
Jim? You're watching live pictures from New York City. Again, apparently a small aircraft has hit the World Trade Center, one of the two towers in New York City's financial district.
There are several large holes right in the sides of the World Trade Center, 110 stories high. No word yet of any injuries or deaths, but no doubt there is panic right now inside that building as the flames and smoke are filling those upper floors. We're going to have more for you as we continue live coverage here on Fox 4.
And then it just drove right through the World Trade Center tower.
What's your vantage point there, Jim?
I am actually across the Hudson in Hoboken, but I have a clear view right at the World Trade Towers.
Now, it did seem to you that it was done on purpose?
You know, I don't know if I can say that, but it was a very odd type of turn. It was headed directly at the building, so whether that was on purpose or not, I can't tell. I don't know if he was trying to avoid or they were headed for it.
Describe that turn for us, would you? Was it particularly heavily banked?
It was pretty heavily banked, maybe 45 degrees. Again, hard to tell. It was kind of unremarkable because you do see planes fly through here. It was a large plane, like a 727, and that's the only reason I kept looking, and then it went right into the building. I just thought it was going to follow the river and keep on going, but it didn't.
Now, after the plane struck the building, from your vantage point, it apparently went directly inside.
That's correct.
And if that's the case, my goodness.
Yeah, actually, as the impact occurred, you could see debris flying out the other side.
So it apparently went right through the. We're looking at a live picture of the building right now, Jim. And what would you say that would be about the 90th floor or so?
Yeah, I can't tell if it went right through, but certainly debris was shot out the other side of the building.
Did you hear anything when it took place? Did you hear the crash?
Yes, I did.
A plane has crashed into one of the twin towers of the World Trade Center. You can see it now on the screen right there. And don't know what the intent was, whether it was deliberate or accidental, but there is a fire going on there. bits of debris are falling now to the sidewalks below. It happened at 8:48, about 12 minutes ago. And so it's developing and will continue to develop all through the day.
And if you can see those bits of debris, they're large. If you can see it, it's large.
Yeah.
Because the World Trade Center is so immense, and you can clearly see things falling.
A lot of speculation whether or not it was an accident or maybe a suicide bomber. Not out of the question these days. So there it is.
There's another one. Another plane just hit. Right. Oh my God! Another plane has just hit. It hit another building. Flew right into the middle of it. Explosion. My God! It's right in the middle of the building.
This one into the East Tower.
Yes. Yes. Right in the middle of the building. And right now, that was definitely looked like it was on purpose.
You saw a plane?
Yes, I just saw a plane go into the building.
Why do you say that was definitely on purpose?
Because it just flew straight into it. It didn't look like it was, and it didn't look like a commercial jet. It was a smaller plane. It was definitely a smaller plane.
Can you characterize the scene down there right now for us?
Now, on the...
Yeah, as you can look down to the street from your vantage point?
On the second building, I think that the further one, the east side, looks like it's about, I would say 15 floors lower.